Hey Russell, I just wanted to ask you, can you explain to me the inner child and how the brain works and understanding the difference between the different parts of the brain?
Yeah, so the inner child is basically around the fact that when we were little, when we were born, we had these three types of the brain. We had the survival brain, you might have heard it called the amygdala. We had the thalamus, the big emotional brain, and then we've got this kind of prefrontal cortex, this thinking brain that doesn't start to develop. So as a child, when we're born, we've got the survival instinct is already in us. So that's why if you're born in like the middle of nowhere and your mum dies in childbirth, you would crawl up your mum's leg to get to the breast to take on and suck milk. So you need to survive. If you So that's already there right from the moment we're born. And then after that, what happens is this thalamus, this emotional brain, the middle brain starts to develop. And the middle brain is like the emotional center. It's where even today all the information comes into this emotional brain, into this emotional center. And from there, what we try to do is we try to make sense of it. We try to give it logic, give it meaning, and understand what it means about us, means about the world, and means about life. And we try to do that with this prefrontal cortex, this logical brain. But the problem is as children, the logical brain is not fully developed. The logical brain's like pea size. The survival brain, the amygdala, is fully developed. The logical brain's pea-sized, and the emotional brain, the thalamus, is this massive basketball-sized thing. So, as a kid, the information comes in, and if it hurts, if it has emotional impact, we're asking ourselves two things really. We're saying, how important is this person to us? Like, do we want their love? Do we want them to like us? Do they mean something to us? And also, how critical of us is what they're saying? So if what they're saying of us is very critical and they're very important to us, in other words, we want their love, that's when it has a high level of emotional impact. So when people say stuff when we're little, our thalamus takes in that information. Our pea-sized logical brain then has to give it meaning. So the meaning we would give it as a child is very different to the meaning we would give it as an adult. Because in a woman, your logical brain starts to develop by the time you're sort of like 18 up to sort of 21. In an adult male, sometimes not till they're 25, which is why we often say that women are more mature at a younger age than men. And that's because their logical brain is developing faster. So what we want to do is we want to realise that our emotional brain took all this childhood hurt on because our logical brain could not make sense of the issue when we were a child. But if we go back and look at it now, we can heal the hurts that we had because our logical brain is fully developed in us as an adult. And that's really how childhood wounds work, is by looking and seeing, well, what did the thalamus take on from this incident?